So, the question everyone is asking is, will an AI take my job? Right? I mean, you hear it everywhere. But honestly, most of what's out there is just guesswork, just hype. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to look at what the actual data says. Let's get some real answers.
Okay, so how is generative AI actually changing the way we work? Not in theory, but right now. Well, to figure this out, researchers at Microsoft did something pretty incredible. They looked at 200,000, that's right, 200,000 real-world conversations people were having with an AI. This isn't about what AI might do someday. This is what's happening on the ground today. So let's dive in.
All right, so this whole investigation really kicks off with one big question. What are people really using AI for, in their day-to-day jobs? And it turns out the answer hinges on a really important, kind of subtle distinction.
So here's the first big aha moment from the study. The researchers figured out you have to separate two things. First, there's the user goal, which is, what you want to get done. And then there's the AI action, which is what you're actually telling the AI to do for you. And get this, a lot of the time, they are not the same thing at all. And understanding that difference, well, that's the key to this whole puzzle.
Okay, let's make that super clear with an example. So, imagine you just want to print a document. Simple, right? Your goal, the user goal, is basically to operate office equipment. But you don't know how. So what do? You ask the AI for instructions. Now, the AI's job, the AI action, isn't printing the document. It's training you to use the equipment. See that split? The AI is being your personal coach, your trainer, so that you can get your task done.
So you might be wondering, how often does this actually happen? Is this just a rare thing? No way. This study found that in a whopping 40% of all the conversations they looked at, the user's goal and the AI's action were totally different tasks. That's huge. It tells us that AI isn't just a simple replacement tool. It's playing this very specific, very important supporting role.
Okay, so now that we've got that key distinction down, user versus AI, let's look at the data. What are the most common things people are trying to do, and what are they asking the AI to do for them?
First, let's look at what people want to accomplish, the user goals. 3 things really pop out from the data. Number 1, people are using AI to gather information, big time. Then, they're using it for writing and editing. And third, for general communication help. So think about things like doing research, drafting those tricky emails, or just getting started on some content.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Let's flip it and look at what the AI is actually doing. Its top 3 actions are giving information, advising or coaching the user, and writing. See the difference? The AI isn't the one doing the communicating, it's helping with communication. It's acting like a service provider. It's your assistant, your teacher, your advisor. It's there to help you get your job done.
And this lines up perfectly with what people said they liked and didn't like. The feedback in the study showed that users were happiest when they used AI for writing and research. That makes sense, right? But where did it fall short? Well, people weren't so thrilled with it for things like data analysis or visual design. Those tasks got the lowest satisfaction scores.
Okay, so we know what people are using AI for. We know what it's good at and what it's not so good at. So now we can finally tackle the million-dollar question, which specific jobs are feeling the impact the most?
So to figure this out, the researchers got really clever. They came up with something called an AI applicability score. Now, this isn't just some random number. It's a calculated score for every single job, and it's based on 3 things. How often do tasks from that job show up in AI chats? How well does the AI actually do those tasks? And how much does the AI help overall? It's a pretty smart way to measure the real impact.
And when you use that score, you start to see this incredible spectrum. On one end, with really high applicability scores, you have jobs like interpreters, writers, and customer service reps. Makes sense, right? A lot of language and information work. And on the complete opposite end, with low scores, you have very physical jobs. Think nursing assistants, roofers, and truck operators.
And if we zoom out from individual jobs to like whole job categories, the picture gets even clearer. The top 3 groups where AI has the highest applicability are sales, computer and mathematical jobs, and office and admin support. So you can see it's having this really wide-ranging impact on jobs that are all about knowledge and communication.
But, hold on. This is where the story gets a really surprising twist. Because if you're thinking, okay, so AI is just affecting those high-paying, fancy-degree jobs, well, the data has something else to say.
Here it is, the big surprise. The researchers found almost no link between how much a job pays and how much AI affects it. I mean, here's a direct quote from the paper. We do not find a strong and consistent relationship between AI applicability score and wage. Let that sink in. It means those huge job categories like sales and admin support, which often have lower wages, are feeling the impact just as much as some of the higher paid jobs. And it's pretty much the same story when you look at education levels. Yeah, sure, jobs that typically require a bachelor's degree have a slightly higher score on average, but only slightly. The impact is spread across the board, across all education levels. So this idea that AI is just a tool for the college-educated crowd? Nope. Its effects are being felt absolutely everywhere.
So, what in the world does this all mean for the future of our jobs? If AI isn't just wiping out entire job categories, then what is happening?
The paper gives us a really powerful way to think about this. Just think about the ATM. When ATMs came along, they automated the main task of a bank teller, handing out cash. Everyone thought, well, that's the end of bank tellers. But it wasn't. It actually freed up tellers to do more valuable things, like building relationships with customers. And what happened? Banks opened more branches, and the number of teller jobs actually went up.
And that brings us to a totally new way of looking at this. We're not just staring at a fixed list of jobs that are doomed to disappear. What we're actually looking at is a moving frontier. A frontier of tasks and skills that is constantly shifting and evolving. So in the end, the big takeaway here isn't about if AI will take our jobs. The real question is, how will we remake our jobs with AI? It's about how this technology is going to change the day-to-day things we do within our roles. Just like the bank tellers, our challenge and our huge opportunity is to figure out how to use these new tools to change what we do, to create more value. The future isn't some tidal wave that's just going to wash over us. It's something we get to build.